Start with one of our headline stories, and it is about the Economic Forum. And the National Economic Forum has begun in Akontombo. The four-day event is expected to draw ideas for sustainable path that guarantees improvement in the quality of life for all Ghanaians. Now, participants and major contributors of the forum will include former finance ministers, former governors of the Bank of Ghana, eminent economists, political parties, parliamentarians and business leaders. Now, economic policy makers as well as representatives of trade associations, development and social partners, civil society organizations, members of the academia and senior citizens are also expected to be at the events. The forum also aims at institutionalizing a regular consultative machinery that promotes a dialogue between the public sector and social partners in order to develop common national positions on critical economic policy issues. Now, we'll go over to the phone lines where we do have Edward Kwabi. He's been there since morning to give us an update on what really is happening there. Hello, Edward.
Hello, Wendy.
Now, yes, we have a list of who and who is attending, but you are there. Can you tell us who really is there this morning, or who was there this morning?
Well, earlier we had speculations that the major opposition in the country, that is the MP, will not make it to this very particular event, and it is evident here. None of the members are here. But let me quickly walk you through some of the people who trooped in this morning to make it to this event. We have His Excellency, the President himself and his Vice, Fakulty Misasa. We have people from academia, as you didn't mention earlier, and we have people from the Ghana Revenue Authority, people from civil society groups, including Imani, Ghana, ISODEC, and all the rest, IDEC, and major players like IEA. They are all present. Now, if you go to the political parties, I've seen some major political parties, the PPP, and the PNC, and of course the CPP. I've also seen Ekwadonko, who leads one of the parties in this country. So it is a pack of all Ghanaians. And of course, let me reiterate that the General Secretary of the TUC, Dr. Kofi Asamoah, is also currently here. And these are people who are from the Ghanaian civil society groups, representing their various people to make input into this very event. If you go to the international front, we have people from the diplomatic corps, and they are also here to make input. And of course, businessmen from outside the country are also here.
Now, Edward, has the dialogue already started?
Yes, it did start about an hour ago, and the first person to open the forum, of course, is Excellency the President, has been speaking about a number of issues, and key among them has been the target of a good 8% growth rate. Now, he says that this dialogue is, of course, aiming to propel the country from a lower middle income earning country to an upper middle income country, and this is based on the fact that they are targeting to reach an average growth rate of 8% in the coming year. And of course, this is also going to this particular dialogue is also targeted at safeguarding the city, which is currently not doing well against major trading currencies on the global market. And of course, some issues regarding our trade and how we can improve the general well-being of Ghanaians in the country.
Now, Edward, since you have been there since morning, and you just mentioned that it started about an hour ago, the President has already spoken, but from your interactions and looking at the demeanor of the persons invited there, even specifically the political parties, do they really have a united front, or everybody's coming with his or her own individualistic ideas that I think this should be done or that should be done, even though the President has set the agenda forward that this and this is what we're looking at?
Well, interestingly, the Vice President is the chairman of this very particular occasion, and very soon they will be put into groups. That is various groups, and they will be doing their own thing in the caucus group. Now, the group is to help the participants come up with some sort of contributions individually, and it will be collated. And at the end of the day, it is going to be given to the economic management team, which is chaired by the vice president. And of course, that one will also be inculcated in the national development plan of the country. And we all know that, as government said earlier, it is targeted at propelling the country from a middle income, a lower middle income economy to a higher income economy. And so that is what has been going on here. But very soon we'll try and get on air with some pictures and some interviews with some people or key players in the business community for them to share their thoughts on this very forum, which is currently ongoing at Senchi in Akosombo.
Thank you very much indeed, Edward Kwabi, for that update. He brought us some live update from Akosombo, where the National Forum has begun. He said it began an hour ago. The president has already set the agenda and the ball is rolling. But the 4-day event is expected to draw ideas for a sustainable path that guarantees improvement in the quality of life for all Ghanaians. And like I did mention earlier on, participants and major contributors of the forum include former finance ministers, former governors of the Bank of Ghana, eminent economists, political parties, parliamentarians and business leaders. And he did touch on the issue that the NPP, none of the members of the NPP are there at the National Economic Forum. And also some more on the forum. Government has explained that the event was a non-partisan forum theme, changing the narrative, building a national consensus for economic social transformation. Now we're going straight to the phone line to talk to Dr. Robert Osei, Research Fellow of ISE. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Good afternoon, Wendy, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Doctor, first of all, as a professional, I would want to find out from you your view of this National Economic Forum.
Well, I have maintained that I personally think it's certainly a good thing because there is a need for us to depoliticize the current economic challenges and agree on both sides some of the things that the difficult decisions that need to be undertaken to actually move the economy forward. So personally, I think that it's certainly a good platform that has been created to discuss some of the challenges and how to actually get around the problems.
Now, Doctor, although you have established that it is a good thing, do you think that this forum will give us the results we need as a country? And if you can please speak up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, so could you ask the question again?
I was finding out from you if you think this forum can guarantee us or give us the results we need as a country.
I think so. I think it's a matter of prioritizing in terms of what needs to be done. And so it is having a consensus on what needs to be done so that it becomes apolitical. Okay? So if for nothing at all, taking the politics out of what needs to be done is an important step in how we need to deal with the economic issues. Okay, so personally, again, I have said and I'll continue to say that I think that it's certainly a good forum for how we need to deal with our current challenges. Because our current challenges and the way we deal with it, it's not just economic. There are political economy dimensions to it. And so the forum, please ask the question again.
Will 4 days be enough for such a forum to guarantee the answers we need as a country?
I believe that policy making is an ongoing process. And therefore, I mean, the 4 days will set the tone. That is how I see it. It will set the tone for the things that needs to be done. I do believe, for instance, that after the forum, depending on some of the top-level issues that will be agreed on, there might be further studies on how to actually operationalize some of the ideas or policies that come up. So the 4 days is just the starting point, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for your time. I have been speaking with Dr. Robert Osei. He is with ISA, and we're looking at the National Economic Forum. But like I did tell you, the National Economic Forum has already begun in Akonsombo. The 4-day event is expected to draw ideas for sustainable path that guarantees improvement in the quality of life for all Ghanaians. Participants and major contributors at the forum will include former finance ministers, former governors of the Bank of Ghana, eminent economists, political parties, parliamentarians, and business leaders. I just spoke to a colleague, Edward Kwabi, who is there, and he did tell us that the forum started an hour ago. The president has already spoken, and as part of the program, economic policy makers as well as representatives of trade associations, development and social partners, civil society organizations, members of the academia and senior citizens are also expected at that very event. The forum also aims at institutionalizing a regular consultative machinery that promotes economic dialogue between the public sector and social partners. We have Edward Corbin now giving us more updates on the 4-day events that is expected to draw ideas for sustainable path that guarantees improvements in the quality of life for all Ghanaians. And of course, we are talking about the National Economic Forum.
With a structured economy, I'm particularly excited at the comments of Dr. K.Y. Amako. Brilliant exposition of the imperative of the National Economic Forum and the issues to which we must address. Consistency, the necessity of a plan evolved out of consensus and consultation, ensuring value for money, and many other related issues.